What is going on today, guys? I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an overview, kind of an update of what's been going on lately. Unfortunately, today I'm not going to be putting out a traditional video like what I've been usually doing, which has been a lot of wrenching, a lot of the more normalized stuff, not due to any particular circumstance, more just a combination of stuff. So let me provide a couple updates to that. Still have been shooting a lot of film. Really no issues at all with that. More, I would say the problem is we're working on 3 large projects all at the exact same time that are all not done yet. And really it's more like 4. So in addition to that, typically what I like to do, if you guys have noticed, people that have been kind of following me probably, you know, we've been around for about 3 months now at this point. I like to layer in some of the lighter-hearted content in the middle, as well as some of the more serious stuff, the stuff that takes a little bit longer to shoot. I mean, for example, the Flatbed Ranger video took me like 3 days of actually hard, long wrenching to get done. So, I mean, I can't do that every single day. So it's like stuff like the auto show, which was like 2 hours at the show, and that's a video in and of itself. We've been trying to put out 2 videos a week. To please the YouTube gods, so to speak. So that's usually what we've been doing. Last weekend we went up to the school that Sammy and I went to college at. They host an auto show every year. Brought the camera, had everything set up, ready to go, and we were pretty disappointed with what we saw. It wasn't good enough to film, if I'm being entirely honest with you. Not to be like super critical, super harsh. But to be honest, it just wasn't good enough content to bring to the channel. So we didn't. We enjoyed our time up there, caught up with some friends, drove the 84 the whole way, had 0 issues. It was kind of nice for what it was. It was cold. I mean, it was like 40, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So, yeah. The only downside, though, that takes 2 days out of when I would normally be wrenching or video editing or anything like that. It just takes that out of my time to be able to be committing to working on these projects. So I had already committed time, I believe it was actually that Sunday, to working on other things at that time. So I still ended up getting videos out that day. I believe this past week I had actually put out some older footage that I had shot, had been meaning to get edited. So it ended up being good overall for the health of the channel. So that's a good thing overall. However, now we're in the predicament of where I'm at today, where I've got bigger projects that are not done and we need to get a video out. So figured I would just give you guys an update. So let's see where to start. Okay, one of the projects that we are still working on is this pesky Recession Silverado. We did get the new seats installed here. Let's walk over to this thing. We have the Mustang underneath the tarp. The top likes to leak. Oh, we also put a fence in. It's pretty nice. But take a look at these seats. Are awesome. So it'd be nice if I could, drive the truck, but, that would be too much of an ask. So you guys will see this in an upcoming video. I need to finish this. I'd like to find the retractable headrests that don't have the monitors in it, unless those aren't really that valuable. Because from my understanding they are. I have not had a lot of time to research into that, which is what I'm going to be finalizing. I need to change out the steering wheel still. That still needs to be finalized, as well as just a couple of like nitpicky things, as well as to, get this all wired up. I looked into it, so you can actually remove the covers off of these. So right now I'm getting an airbag light because these seats, I was a bit of an idiot, didn't realize that they were airbag seats. So let's walk back into the garage. If you see this ever on your seats, there's an airbag right here. So if I slide this in here, you can see a little white piece right here. These just clip out like this. This is actually the cover itself. I've not taken this kind of stuff apart before. So I definitely want to go slow, take my time, learn. Don't worry, it'll be a video for sure. But from my understanding, I should be able to, by and large, remove this section or maybe the upper side. I'll compare the two of them to see what the difference is. I've seen things where they say, oh, well, the fabric's different. Oh, this, oh, this, oh, this. And then looking online, and it says 07 to 14. It does not look like the fabric's different. So I'm going to use the leather for sure. If not, I'll order the correct stuff. But I'll transport the airbag into that, into those seats to make sure it's totally compliant. Shut the airbag light off. Show you guys that. There was 2 connectors down there, so there should be a way to actually power all of that correctly. So I will get that all figured out, thankfully. So that'll kind of clean up all this. These are the headrests that have these monitors, these cool monitors that I will never use. So I was going to probably put those up on eBay. Unless they're not worth anything, then I will just use the headrests because I already paid for them. Cool. So that is the Recession Silverado. That thing is still misfiring. I have a couple things, a mass airflow sensor, another coolant temp sensor, and a pigtail that I'd like to put on. Just small stuff. So thankfully that's not a big deal. Let's move on to the Ranger. The Ranger got a lot of stuff done. It's probably a week or so ago. So let me see real quick. Ignore this. I've been driving this. Actually, funny enough, this little truck's just such a blast to drive. So, and don't worry, this one's got a lengthy video and still has more to be shot. Remove the back seats. Kind of went back in and added a little sound deadening material, cleaned up the sub, cleaned up a lot of wiring, did a lot of stuff like that. I put LEDs in the cluster and all this stuff. I have something is super annoying and rattling down there. Thankfully, the rest of the truck's loud, so it doesn't really matter. So it's been decent. I went ahead and just cut out a bunch of the rocker that's already been rotting away. Talking with my buddy Cody that you guys have seen before, we're thinking about just putting rock sliders in. Don't worry, I still do have the steps for the side. Those are still planning to go on, but more importantly, we have another white door. I did find one at the junkyard when I went back there the other time, so that is cool, but take a look at these. Boom, look how clean that is. It's just so good. And then if I come back over here, you can kind of see I made these little mud shields to go ahead over there, and then nice LED headlights and fog lights, and just everything's all nice and bright. I know a lot of people hate that. Also some vent visors to just clean up everything. It is very, very nice to drive. Very enjoyable all the way around. So, yeah, just a good, enjoyable, fun truck. To be honest, it's actually, I joke around, I call it healed because it is back up to 16.25 miles to the gallon. Which is actually more than advertised for the 4-liter in 2000. So that's more than enough for me, at least for what I've been driving. I drive like 11 miles each way to work, so it's not even a big deal, and I only go into work 3 days a week. So it's totally fine for me, at least for now. So the Mustang really hasn't gotten a whole lot done, if I'm being honest with you. So we did go and buy the transmission. I didn't film that, the automatic trans. Me and Cody shot down to Ohio to buy it. Didn't film that. That was kind of just like something fun, kind of a throwback that something we used to do. So I do have a line on a manual trans, on a cross member, and a drive shaft that hopefully I'll be buying next weekend from another buddy, like a friend of a friend that's had it hanging out forever. So all goes according to plan. We'll have that next weekend. I've also got a line on a whole parts car, potentially buying tomorrow. We'll see. Very, very skeptical about that. That would be cool because, as we said, the top leaks. We found out about that. That's not great. So we will see about what's going on with that. But we haven't really done a whole lot with that because I've got bigger fish to fry with the Silverado not running super great as of right now. And I've had just bigger stuff get in the way of things that I've been trying to accomplish. So let's pivot now to the Suburban. So we've made big progress on the Suburban actually last night. We got the old fender off. So the Super Smash fender it is prophesized, it is fabled that that this fender was the result of a train wreck, actually. So that is off. This is ready to be donated to the curb, where it will be undoubtedly scrapped. So this is, I had actually purchased this off Facebook Marketplace. This is a core sport. I was super hesitant to use it just because it's got some rust and rot, and I'm just not super jazzed on it. When I was removing everything off of the Suburban itself, when I was moving everything off the Suburban itself, I was like looking and looking and looking. I think I can keep the factory crossmember. When I was looking at it, and here, let me grab some more light. When I was looking at it, to me, it looks straight enough. So I think it'll be fine. It does curve in just a touch, but it is not that bad. So worst case, I'll throw a 2x4 on the back side here, yank it, give her a good yank once or twice, and it will be fine. So I'm not super concerned. This is all in a video. Like I said, I was up working on this until probably about 3 o'clock in the morning last night. But as you can see, the yellow fender is on. Now, I don't have it, it broke the bolt up here, broke the bolt on the bottom. I'm not super concerned about that for right now. I did at least rough mount in the hood for now to get that started, as well as I pulled out the inner fender liner. I'd like to do that side as well. You can also take a look that I did do quite a bit of work on the motor as well, as far as pulling. Again, we are pulling this motor out. I removed a lot of the AC stuff because that stuff can actually just be fully removed at this point in time. This truck will have AC again eventually, but for right now, this stuff's just getting pulled. There's nothing that needs to stay on there at this time. So, yeah, opened up a lot of room in there, which is super nice, super convenient, very, very, very fun. Look at all that dirt, man. I don't know if you guys remember how much dirt and dust and crap we've been just peeling off this motor. I mean, you can kind of peek your head in there. Just, oh my gosh, so much dirt. So we're gonna keep doing that, keep peeling it off. The big mystery, the big question: what heads are on this thing? We finally have the answer. Edelbrock E-Tech 200 heads. These are 200cc heads. I believe it was like 64cc chambers. These are the Big Daddy heads. So these are actually the biggest head that it looked like Edelbrock offered for something like this. Automatically has a 3/8 rocker stud. Looks pretty good. I was texting Kevin from Junkyard Digs. He was thinking, you know, he's like, it's a TBI motor. Probably somebody wanted something good for towing. Just kind of bought the best head that they could buy at the time. I thought it was wild somebody didn't put a carb on there, but we both think that it's probably got a cam in it. I should probably borescope it to see if it's got stock pistons, stock lower end. But man, you know, it's got paint on the block still. It's got a block off plate. It's just, this is such a weird motor, man. You know, it's got a water pump done to it, which makes sense. I mean, you already had to pull it off, so it's just strange. Oh, sorry about that, guys. One point of concern, though, that I have is that reservoir, which is the coolant reservoir, is fairly low. So I don't know how long this thing sat, but at the same time, you know, I don't know the life of this motor. I don't even think I checked the oil. I didn't really care because, in my opinion, this motor's getting pulled. So we're gonna still keep going with this. My goal for this weekend is to ideally slide that trans back, change the flex plate on this, get this motor at least to run, to turn over to see where we are at, to get a baseline, to have that identified. Once we have that identified, then we can make a decision of where to go next. That's probably arguably the most important thing to me. Because once we're there, once we can make that decision, that informed decision, that kind of dictates the next steps. You know, does it run? Yes or no? Does it run well? Yes or no? Does it knock? Yes or no? Those are all, you know, big important considerations. You know, if it runs good, you know, do I need to pull it? Does it need to go to a machine shop? What needs to happen next? Those are all the things that I'm talking about when I consider next steps with this truck. So no matter what, the 6-liter over there in the corner, that's still the goal. That's still the plan, has been the plan from day one. There's a 4L80 in the back of the truck over there. It's still the plan. I have the torque converter as well in the back. Again, that's still the goal for this truck. That hasn't changed since day one. So it's super cool to see the heads. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to find this kind of little stuff in here. It's really, really cool, just because it's just like, you can tell somebody put a lot of time and effort into this motor, and like that's really awesome. Like somebody had a lot of pride and joy, and I find it funny because at the end of the day, this was like a utility sanitization truck, and at some point somebody bought it and they decided to throw a set of killer heads on it. Throw some Moroso valve covers. These valve covers are amazing. They look so good. And honestly, if I do sell this motor, I might keep the valve covers regardless, because they just look perfect. There's just something about the way that they look just right. They have that absolute perfect look for a small block Chevy. So absolutely just killer. So But yeah, I really love to see that kind of stuff. So yeah, but yeah, for the I guess really for the remainder of tonight, more than anything else, and I probably won't include in this video. I'll include it in my other video where I'm still working on the Suburban. Is I'm gonna probably rebuild the back end of this tailgate, because I hurried up and ordered this. I guess a recent term I heard was in a moment of weakness. I had actually gotten this open. This is the factory tailgate on this. This was totally seized shut when I bought this truck. These again, the whole thing was totally seized shut. This whole back end, the window is stuck down about 1/4 of an inch. As you can see, you see that right there? That right there has to be probably 1/8 of an inch of dust all in the back of there. This whole truck needs to be vacuumed and cleaned, and realistically, the interior needs to be pulled and honestly probably power washed. There is that much dirt in this truck that we are going right past like the wipe down to the power wash. It is that bad. So that's what needs to happen. It's not going to happen tonight by any stretch of the imagination, but what can happen tonight is me rebuilding this tailgate. So I already pulled the glass that's up in the cab up there. So what's in the LMC truck boxes is actually all the stuff to convert what was formerly the automatic stuff. I have not even opened this up. Let's see. But, you know, let's see, this is all the goodies. I basically just ordered one of everything, but this should be absolutely everything to convert it from an automatic window to a manual window, mainly because I could not find the motor for this thing in one piece. I saw it as like a 2-piece deal, which would be fine. You know, you're thinking probably like motor regulator. Of course, Zach, of course they're going to be 2 pieces. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Like that's what I thought too. No, I'm talking like the motor and then like the gear. Like what? That doesn't even make any sense. Like it made so little sense actually that I was super confused. I've done parts for 10 years. I've never seen that before at all. It makes so little sense. The window motors on these trucks are notorious for failure. They just really are. You can actually use the same window motor in all 4 locations on these trucks, which is great. You can replace those as a full unit. But why can't you do the tailgate? It doesn't it doesn't make sense. It doesn't resonate. Is it because it's a bigger motor? Like, what does that have to do with anything? it doesn't matter. There's an assist coil. So again, it's weird. It doesn't make any sense. So, but I was able to get, I believe I was able to get everything from LMC, thankfully. So for what it's worth, though, you know, to be honest, I hate ordering from LMC. I do. LMC has cornered the market in a very good way and a very bad way. They corner the market in a very good way, as in they do provide, they are a one-stop shop for the customer to be able to order all of these weird niche parts for their truck. And they're very good at that. And honestly, I do believe that they should be paid for that. I am not saying that they shouldn't be paid for it. Don't get me wrong. I am very cheap on some things. I am. I will admit that. And I think that's fine. You know, like, I think that you can be cheap on stuff. I cheap out on sensors and stuff like that all the time, because why do I care if I spend $13 on a sensor when I can literally replace it 5 times for the cost of a quality sensor, but it takes me a minute to change it? Why would I care? What are we talking about? Why does that matter? Like, if it's a minute to change it, it's not that big of a deal to change it. I'm just going to save the money and I'm just going to go. And to be honest with you guys, most of the time it's the same sensor. It really is. And I know there's a lot of people that it'll ruffle feathers. That won't believe me. It's a lot of times the same sensor. So what I don't like about LMC, just to wrap up that thought, they provide a lot of very good parts to the customer, very niche parts, which is the good thing. But they have terrible customer service. And when I mean terrible customer service, their website's a joke. Okay, it really is. It is purposefully difficult to use, almost intentionally so. If you log in, and you can do this right now, if you log in, the first thing it'll do is it'll auto prompt you to use their catalog. And I'm sure to an extent that's required. I'm sure the demographic of their typical user needs to use it. They are the atypical person that's like, I know exactly what I'm looking for, yada yada yada, and they don't. And that's fine. That's fine if that's the reason behind it. What's not okay though, and this is really kind of what I'm getting at, what's really not okay is me not knowing what's going on with my order for like a week and a half or 2 weeks. Like zero updates and like no support from that end of things. Like that's kind of like, it's kind of like not okay. Like I've been ordering things on the internet for quite a long time now. I'm not that old. I'm turning 29 this year. But my mom kind of, she was always really good about like showing me a lot of like forward-facing technologies, going on eBay and stuff when I was a kid. And when I say like when I was a kid, like probably like 2003, 2004, we were ordering stuff off eBay. So when I was like 9, 10. So like for me, if eBay was able to figure out order tracking in 2003 and 2004, why is it that we're in 2023 and I can't get an order update on a $240 order that I placed on parts that you stock? Like even like if I click it a lot of times it'll just say, it won't even say received. It'll just say ordered, or it'll say in processing. But like it doesn't give you any details. It doesn't say anything, and it's just a really bad experience. Because they don't have like an FAQ section. They don't have anything like that, and it just doesn't feel great. And honestly, I wish it was better, because again, the quality of their products is, for the most part, it's pretty good. You know, I can tell they've got a lot of suppliers, and that's fine. But like for the most part, you know, it's pretty good. Like this is pretty great that I'm able to order all this stuff. Like in here should be the whole handle mechanism. Let's see. Yep. So this will be the replacement handle. This will be all the little parts that go in there, all the little assorted screws and whatnot. This is actually like the winding mechanism that bolts in. This is called the sash. So this will actually bolt to the window. So this actually rotted on mine. So if I come over here, so there it is, and you can kind of see it. Here's the old one. That is it. So I made the decision to replace this because, in my opinion, it's junk. I would not put this back in a car that you care about. Part of it is good. This part of it's good. That's where it starts to get crusty, and that's where it's really, really bad. Like really bad. So yeah. But that's kind of where we're at. And I'm looking now. I'm a little worried because I see there's like some sort of gasket in here. I'm not seeing in there, so that's cool. And again, that's that's kind of just another thing. So I might have to even put this on hold. So okay, cool. Well, thanks for joining me for the update. Hopefully this can kind of tide you guys over. I've got a bunch of stuff planned to get done this weekend. The keyword there is done, not start, not get mostly worked on. It's actually done. So we'll see how far that actually goes. But things like finish up on the Ranger, we need to stop the meme. We need to get the underside panel done. I have the brake hoses actually in. So it's going to get front and rear brake hoses. It's going to get the rear diff serviced at a minimum. I would really, really like to do the front diff, the transfer case, ideally also, I'm sorry, the rear diff, because I have a cover for it. The transfer case, ideally also the front diff. I believe it has a drain plug. If it has a drain plug and a fill plug, we'll just change the fluid. I don't need to pull that cover. That's fine. But I would really like to change the rear cover, mainly because it looks really bad. But also because, like, I'm sure the fluid's never been changed. So that's the goal. And then if we really get rambunctious, pull the seats back out of the Silverado, pull apart both of the seats, put the airbags in, reassemble everything, get all the wiring finished up, and then hopefully the three sensors that I have will get it back finalized and good to go. So we will see. I have a thankfully fairly free weekend opened. If I end up having to buy a very good deal Mustang convertible, that fairly free weekend will become very not free very quickly. So that will be very unfortunate, but we will see what happens and cross that bridge when we get to it. So thanks for joining me for the update. Hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys can see we're making progress. We're staying strong. Thank you guys for all the support. We have grown this channel tremendously, to be completely honest with you. Sometimes I lose a little bit of faith and then I kind of look back and realize we are up 250 subscribers in a little over 2 months. So that's all thanks to you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and Sammy for that matter. Hopefully you guys are liking the content. Hopefully you guys enjoy what we're doing here. And if you don't enjoy it, let me know. Comment, post, like you know, I'm kind of just doing this and just, you know, putting out there what I think you guys like, kind of in like what we have the ability to do. But if there's something that seems to make more sense, let me know. If it's within reason, we'll probably do it. So until next time, make sure to smash that subscribe button and catch you guys next time.